Guys, is it okay the screen? You getting my voice? Yeah, okay. Yesterday we have briefly seen the architecture of the architecture of GFS model. Okay, the architecture consists of clusters will be there where each cluster is a hundreds of machines will be form a cluster, and some number of clusters will form the total Google file system. When we come to each cluster, we have three things will be there: client, master server, and chunk servers. Chunk server is the servers which are actually storing the files. Who is actually storing the files means chunk servers are the servers who are actually storing the files. Master server is the only manager for the chunk servers. He is coordinating the chunk servers for storing the files and for accessing the files. Okay, whenever client want to store the files, first they will communicate with master. Basing on the information given by the master, they will go to the chunk servers either to store the files or to access the files. That means for reading and writing of the files. This is briefly what is the overall work there. Okay, master server will act as the coordinator and chunk servers will actually store the files. Clear? That is the thing. Now when we come to this one, we have to see briefly what are the major operations that are major works that are going on here. Okay, when we come to the general scenario of the client request, the first request for the client is creation and storing of a file. Okay, how whenever a new client has entered or another when a client has came, he wants to store a new file. He wants to store some new data by creating a new file. He wants to store some data. Okay, how to store a file in that one? Sorry, guys, signal problem. Now when we come to this one storing a file, the first step is okay. Whenever a client wants to store a file, he will generate a request to store a file. Okay, he will send the file name and with the file name and data, he will generate a request to the master server. Okay, I want to store a file in your file system. He will generate a request for the master server. Guys, are you getting voice? Is it okay? Okay, it will send a request to the master server. Okay, I want to store a file with some data in your file system. That is the first step will be done by the client. He will go to the master server for storing a file. Next, what the master server will do is immediately master server will communicate with chunk servers. He will communicate with the chunk servers to know their status, whether they are active or not. How many chunk servers are active at present to know that information. Immediately, master server will communicate with the chunk servers. Then chunk servers will respond to the master server with their heartbeats. Okay, the chunk servers will send their heartbeats to the master server indicating we are active. Okay, by seeing those heartbeats, master server will get some idea how many chunk servers are currently available, how many chunk servers are active, and that information will be known to the master. Then that information, that metadata of chunk servers will be sent to the client. The master server will forward that information to the client. Okay, the metadata of chunk servers. How many chunk servers are currently available? What are the locations of those chunk servers? That information will be provided to the client. Clear. The metadata of chunk servers will be provided to the client. Next, when we come to the client, now basing on how many chunk servers available, how many chunk servers are available for at the present time, basing on the number of chunk servers, the client will decide okay how to partition the file into chunks. He will partition the data into 64 MB chunks, 64-bit chunks. He will divide them into the chunks. Clear? You know what the chunk means? Partition of a file is called a chunk. Okay. After information gathered from the chunks, master server, the client will partition his files into the chunks. Clear? And he will pass that information to the master server. Okay, he divided his file into some number of chunks, and he will provide that information back to the master server. I have 10 chunks, I have 20 chunks, I have 300 chunks, like that. The information will be again forwarded back to the master server. Then what the master server will do is he will generate addresses for those chunks. The master will generate the chunk handle. That means chunk file names. File name for each chunk. Simply in our language, a name for each chunk. Okay. For each chunk, he will generate a name that is called chunk handle. Clear? He will generate the chunk handle and passes that information to the chunk servers. Okay. The master will generate the chunk handles and he will pass them to the chunk servers. Okay, the chunk handles will be forwarded to the master server and he will store that information and he will forward that information to chunk servers. Okay. Then here what the chunk servers will do is in the here for the reliability. Okay, when we come to the chunk servers, the Google file system will store each chunk will be replicated 3 times. Okay, each chunk will be replicated while storing in the chunk server. Each chunk will be replicated 3 times and it is stored in 3 different servers. Okay, when the chunks are received by the chunk servers, here what will happen is each chunk will be replicated 3 times and they are stored in 3 different chunk servers. For example, 10 partitions are there. Your file is divided into 10 partitions. The 10 partitions will be replicated 3 times. That means totally your partitions will become 30. Same 10 will be duplicated 2 times. So the total partitions will become 30. The 30 partitions will be stored in different chunk servers. Clear? This is why it is replicating is for the purpose of reliability. That means even though if any chunk service failed, we should not lose the data. Your file should not be missed. Why? Because already we know Google file system is using commodity hardware. That means inexpensive and frequently available hardware. The hardware is not a expensive and standard one. It is maintaining all the hardware which is inexpensive and cheap cost hardware only it is using. So there is a chance of hardware failure is more in case of Google file system. So to achieve reliability, even though when some of the servers are failed, to achieve the reliability and fault tolerance, each chunk is replicated 3 times and stored in 3 different chunk servers. So that the advantage is if any one of the server is failed, chunk server is failed, no problem at all. The client will not lose his partition. He will happily get that partition. Clear? This is what is happening in the case of storing of the file. Okay. And after 3 copies are created, after the 3 copies are created, the original copy of the chunk is called primary replica or primary chunk, and the extra 2 copies are called secondary replica or secondary chunk. They are called as the secondary replica or secondary chunk. Is it clear, guys? This is what is happening in case of storing a file. How if a new file will be stored in the Google file system means first the client will communicate with the master server that I want to store a new file. Then master server will communicate with the chunk servers to know how many chunk servers are active. Then chunk servers will reply to the master server with their heartbeats. By using their heartbeats, master will identify these chunks are active, these chunk servers are active. Okay, that information will be again forwarded to the client. Okay, I have this much number of chunk servers at present. I have 10 chunk servers at present, 20 chunk servers at present. That information will be provided to the client. Then again, client will divide his file into some number of chunks, and those chunks will be that information will be forwarded to the master. Okay, then master will generate for all those chunks which are partitioned by the client. Master will generate the chunk handle. That means nothing but name and address of the chunks, and the chunks will be forwarded to the chunk servers. Clear? When we come to the chunk servers, here what will happen is while storing the files partitions, that is chunks in the chunk server, for each chunk duplicate copies will be created. Sorry, replica will be created. 3 copies will be created. Each copy is called a replica. Okay, why it is creating 3 copies means for the achievement of fault tolerance and reliability. That means even though some servers fail, we should not lose our data. So it is maintaining 3 copies in 3 different servers. Clear. Here, the original copy is called the primary replica or primary chunk, and the remaining 2 are called secondary replica or secondary chunk. Okay. Basing on the client request, generally Google file system will create 3 copies. If the client requests, it can maintain more number of copies also, no problem at all. The client can request for creating more number of secondary replicas also. Clear. 1 primary replica and 2 secondary replica will be there generally. If the client wants, he can maintain more number of secondary replicas also, 2, 3, 4 like that, depending on the client request. Clear. This is the process of creation and storing of a file. What is happening in case of storing of the files? Is it clear? Yes, first one, creation and storing of the file. Here the important points is it is maintaining 3 replicated copies for the purpose of fault tolerance and reliability. That is the one point we have to consider. And the original copy is called primary replica, and the remaining are all are called the secondary replicas. And to identify those chunks, the master will generate the chunk handle. That means the nothing but in our language address of the chunk. Okay, some address for identification of that chunk. Clear. This is the first operation, that is storing of a file. Next, whenever the client wants to read the data from the file, after storing the file, after some days, the client came back. He wants to read the data from that file, whatever the file he has stored. He wants to read the data from that file. Okay, he wants to perform the read operation. Now, how to perform the read operation? That is the second one we have to know. Okay, when we come to this read request, it is very simple. Again, the client will send a request to the master server. Okay, I want to access that particular file. Okay, again, the client will send a request to the master server. Okay, to find out which chunk server contains the particular file system. Okay, I want to read this particular file. Please provide me information about that file. Okay, he will send a request to the master server to find out where the client file is stored in the file system. Clear. He will send a request to the master server. Then what the master server will do is, okay, master server will respond with the location of primary replica and secondary replicas. Okay, he will provide the information about the where are his primary chunks, where is the secondary chunks. Your primary chunks are in these servers, your secondary chunks are in these locations, like that. He will provide information about all the chunks. Okay, we have 3 copies of each chunk. The 3 copies information will be provided to the client by the server. Okay, the master server will respond with the location for the primary replica as well as the secondary replicas. Okay, and also what the master will do is, along with that location of the primary and secondary replicas, the master will identify the who is the closest chunk server to that client. Okay, he will also identify which chunk server is closest to the client. For example, client is in India. Then when the client is in India, for the request made by the client, he will identify which chunk servers are nearer to the location of the client, so that he can access fastly. Okay, so that whether if there is any server available in China, he will provide the nearest chunk server available to you is China. The nearest chunk server available to you is in Dubai. Like that, he will provide the information about the nearest chunk server also. Basing on the IP address of the client, he will provide what is the nearest chunk server of the client. Clear. Then the client will contact that nearest chunk server. Okay. Then by basing the information given by the master server, the client will approach that chunk server to get the data from that chunk servers. Clear. Is it clear, guys? This briefly what are the steps here doing is simply the client will give a request to the master server. I want to read my file. Then master server will provide information about the where are those chunks, where in which servers the file, so the chunks are stored. That information will be provided to the server. While providing the information about the chunks, it will also provide the information about nearest chunk server. Okay, this chunk server is nearer to you. You can happily approach this chunk server. Okay, then the chunk server will contact the appropriate chunk server. So the client will contact the appropriate chunk server and he will get the required data. This is the read operation. How read operation is performed in the Google file system. Briefly, this is about the read operation of the Google file system. Is it clear, guys? Briefly, this one. What is happening in this one? Yeah, here if you observe here also the main role is master server only. Okay, but master server does not contain data, but he is operating the entire data directly. Never client will approach the chunk servers through master only. They will approach the chunk server, but data will be given by the chunk servers only. Here, this is the read operation. Next, one more operation by this one is the write operation. The client wants to modify the data in the file. He wants to make some changes to the data in the file. Okay, how we can do this one? How he can modify the data in the files? Okay, it is somewhat little more complicated, but similar process only. But when we compare with read operation, write operation is somewhat more complicated. Why? Because whenever we are reading, we can read only one copy of the reading of data. Generally, we know chunks are maintained, three different copies of chunks are available. Same chunk is replicated three times. When we are performing read operation, we can read any one of the chunk is enough. But when we want to modify data, the update should be updated in all the three chunks. Okay. Whenever we modify the data in one chunk, it must be replicated in the remaining two also. When we are modifying the primary chunk, the modification should also go to the secondary chunks also. That's why it is somewhat more complicated. Now we will see what is the process here is going on. Again, client will send a request to the master server. I want, okay, he will send a write request to the master server, and master server will give reply to the location of primary and secondary replica. Same process, client will put a request to the master server. I want to modify some data in the files. Then he will provide the location of the primary and secondary replicas. Your primary replica is in the server. Your secondary replicas are available in this server. The complete metadata will be provided by the master server. Okay. Then what the client will do is, whatever the data it wants to modify, first the client will store that modifying data in some memory cache, in some cache memory. First it will store its data in cache memory. Clear? Whatever the modifications it wants to do, that modifying data will be stored in some cache memory. Okay. Then what the client will do is, it will send, okay, it will send all that data to all the replicas. Okay, it will send that modifying data to all the replicas, starting from the closest replica and ending with the farthest one. Read that fourth point clearly. The client then sends the right data to all the replicas, to all the copies, starting with the closest copy and ending with the longest farthest copy. Clear అండి? Fourth point, దగ్గర ఉన్న రిప్లికాతో స్టార్ట్ చేసి అందరికి పాస్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్తుంది. ఓకే, ఇట్ వెన్ ఎవర్ ఇట్ వాంట్స్ టు మాడిఫై ద డేటా విల్ బి పాస్డ్ టు ఆల్ ద రిప్లికాస్ వేర్ ఇట్ వాంట్స్ టు మాడిఫై ద డేటా. ఫోర్త్ పాయింట్ క్లియర్ అండి? రీడ్ దట్ వన్ కేర్ఫుల్లీ. సి ఏం లేదండి, కాన్సెప్ట్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, మీరు ఒక ఫైల్ ఉంది. మీ ఫైల్ ని, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, వైల్ స్టోరింగ్ యువర్ ఫైల్, ఇట్ డివైడెడ్ యువర్ ఫైల్ ఇంటూ 5 chunks. 5 chunks గా డివైడ్ చేసింది. చంక్ ఏ, చంక్ బి, సి, డి, ఈ 5 chunks. It divided your file into 5 chunks and it is storing in the GFS, Google file system. We know generally each copy will be stored 3 times. So chunk A will be stored 3 times, chunk B will be stored 3, C 3, D3, E3, totally 5 3s are 15 times your chunks will be there. After some time, you identified in chunk B some data is wrong. In the chunk B, some data is wrong. So you want to modify the data in the chunk B. So you approach the master server. I want to make modifications to the file. Okay. Then master server will give information about chunk B. Where is the location of primary chunk B? What is the location of secondary chunk B? Why? Because chunk B is totally 3 times in your file system. So the 3 information will be given to the client. Your primary replica of chunk B is available in this location. Secondary replicas are available in this location. Then what the client will do is he will send the modified data to all the 3 replicas. Okay. Starting from closest replica to ending with the largest replica, he will pass the modified data to all the 3 replicas. మన జనరల్ గా 3 టైమ్స్ అండి. కొంతమంది ఏంటంటే మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ డేటా దే విల్ మెయింటైన్ 5 కాపీస్ ఆఫ్ రిప్లికా, 10 కాపీస్ ఆఫ్ రిప్లికా, లైక్ దట్ దే విల్ మెయింటైన్ మోర్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ కాపీస్. ఎన్ని నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ కాపీస్ ఉంటే అన్నిటికీ పాస్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళాలి. దట్ ఈస్ యువర్ ఫోర్త్ పాయింట్. Clear on the fourth point. What is happening in the fourth point? Starting with closest replica to a large and ending one, it will pass the data to all the replicas. First, the data will be passed to all the replicas. Then what will happen? Okay. దగ్గరగా ఉన్నది ప్రైమరీ సెకండరీ అని కాకుండా దగ్గరలో ఎవరుంటే వాళ్ళతో స్టార్ట్ చేసుకుని వెళ్తూ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, వెదర్ ద నియరెస్ట్ వన్ ఇస్ ప్రైమరీ ఆర్ సెకండరీ డజంట్ ఏ మ్యాటర్. It will start writing data to all the replicas starting from the nearest one. Generally, Google will compare this process as a pipeline. Pipeline means at one end we pour water in the pipe, at other end it will come out. Okay, one side we will pour the data. Similarly, this copying process is compared with a pipeline. That means, okay, from the nearest replica, it will pass the data to all the copies up to the largest, farthest replica. అన్నిటికీ లైన్ లో వెళ్తూ ఉంటుందండి. ఫస్ట్ క్లోజెస్ట్ దానికి డేటా కాపీ అవుతుంది, ఆ తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ క్లోజెస్ట్ దానికి, ఆ తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ క్లోజెస్ట్, లైక్ దిస్ విల్ గో టు ద లాస్ట్ వన్. ఎన్ని కాపీస్ ఉంటే అన్ని కాపీస్, 3 కాపీస్, 4 కాపీస్, 5 కాపీస్, డిపెండింగ్ ఆన్ దట్ వన్. ఓకే, గూగుల్ కంపేర్స్ దిస్ ప్రాసెస్ యాజ్ ఏ pipeline process. Clear. Next, what will happen after the data is copied to all the replicas? ఇంకా ప్రాసెస్ అయిపోయింది, డేటా జస్ట్ రిప్లికాలో కాపీ అయింది. Now what is the primary replica will do is the primary replica will give serial numbers to each modification done on that chunk. Okay, whatever the modification done on that one, whenever the new modification data has came, the primary replica will give serial numbers to each change in that chunk. To each change in the chunk file. ఓకే, దీస్ చేంజెస్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ మ్యూటేషన్స్. మీరు ఆ చంక్ లో ఏవైతే మోడిఫికేషన్ చేస్తున్నారో ప్రతి మోడిఫికేషన్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గివింగ్ సమ్ సీరియల్ నెంబర్. దీస్ చేంజెస్ ఆర్ టెక్నికల్లీ కాల్డ్ as ద మ్యూటేషన్స్. ఓకే, మీరు ఎన్ని మోడిఫికేషన్ చేస్తే అన్ని మ్యూటేషన్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఫర్ ఈచ్ మ్యూటేషన్ ఇట్ విల్ గివ్ సమ్ సీరియల్ ఆర్డర్. ఫస్ట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు మోడిఫై దిస్ డేటా, దెన్ దిస్ డేటా, లైక్ దట్ సీరియల్ ఆర్డర్ విల్ గివెన్ ఫర్ ద మ్యూటేషన్. Then what will happen is the primary replica will reorder his data basing on its serial numbers. It will rearrange the data basing on the serial numbers given. First, it will rearrange the data. After itself rearranged the data in sequential order, it will pass the same information to secondary replica. You also rearrange the data in the same process. Okay, it will pass that information to the secondary replicas. Okay, first it will give serial numbers to each modification, and after giving the serial numbers, basing on those serial numbers, it will rearrange its own data. It will make changes in its own data. And after that rearranging is over, it will pass the same information to the secondary replicas also. You also rearrange your data according to this process. Okay, then it will pass that information to secondary replicas. Then the secondary replicas will also modify the work, will also do the work. If everything is successful, then all the replicas will contain the same modified data. If everything works as it should, all replicas across the cluster incorporate the same new data. Okay. After the secondary replicas successfully modified the data, they will report to the primary replica. Our modifications are successful. We successfully modified the data. They will report back to the primary. Okay. Again, primary replica will report back to the client. Clear. After secondary replicas report back to the primary success, positive success, then the primary will report back to the client. Okay. If secondary replicas not successfully completed the changes, if any secondary replica failed to successfully complete the changes as per the serial order, okay, they will pass that information to the primary. Primary will tell to the client what has happened. Due to some reason, this secondary replica does not completed successfully. It will pass that information back to the client. And what it will do is, again, it will request the primary replica will request secondary replica to start the process. Okay, one more time, it will ask the failed secondary replica to do the same process again. Whenever update does not done correctly in the secondary replica, primary replica will ask the second replica again to start the same process. Okay, even though second time also, if the process is not completed, that information will be passed to the master server. Okay, this particular second replica is unable to update the data. The information will be moved to the master server, and the master server will declare this secondary replica as a garbage. Okay, he will simply eliminate the secondary replica. That particular second replica will not be considered as a valuable one. It is considered as a garbage value. Clear. This is what is happening in the write process. See one more time briefly. What is happening here? First, a client will go to the master. I want to make modifications. So please send me the location of primary and secondary replicas. Okay. Then the client, the master will give information about primary and secondary replicas to the client. Your primary replica is in this particular chunk server. Your secondary replicas are in this particular server. They will give information about the primary and secondary replicas. Then the client will place all his data in the cache memory. Then, okay, starting from the nearest replica, he will start writing the data to all the replicas. Starting from the nearest one, he will start copying the data to all the replicas. Okay, starting from the nearest one by one, he will copy the data to every replica. Why? Because how many replicas will depend on the client. Okay, generally the client, the GFS will maintain 3 copies as already we told, but some clients will want more number of copies. So depending on how many copies of the replica available, same chunk available, it will start copying the from the closest chunk to the ending with the farthest chunk. Okay, generally this Google Meet will call this process as a Google file system is calling this entire process as a pipeline process. It is called as the pipeline process. I think in the CO you know about the concept of pipelining. Okay, pipeline means at one end we pour water, the data will go to the other end. But at one end we give data through the pipe, it will pass to the last one. Okay, it is comparing this entire process as a pipeline process. Here, what will happen is after the all the data is copied to the all the replicas, the process is not completed. Only data is copied, but not changes has made. After the data is copied to all the replicas, the primary replica will assign serial order to each change of the file. Whatever the changes requested by the client, for each change, it will give some serial order. Consecutive serial numbers will be given. These changes are generally called as mutations. We call each change as a mutation, and for every mutation, some serial number will be given by the primary replica. Clear? Basing on the serial numbers given to the mutations, okay, basing on the serial numbers given, the primary replica will rearrange its own data. First, it will rearrange its own data basing on the serial numbers. It will rearrange the data. After the rearranging is completed on its own, then it will ask the secondary replicas also to modify their data as in the same process. it will ask the secondary replicas to modify the data. In the same process, it will ask. Then if the second replica is also done the same process successfully, okay, if all the work is done successfully, then the second replicas will give information back to the primary replica. The process is successful. Again, primary replica will give information back to the client. The process is successful. If everything is okay, secondary will pass the success message to primary. Primary will pass the success message to the client. Clear? If anything wrong, if any secondary replica sent unsuccessful message to the primary, primary will inform to the client some replica is unable to update. That's unsuccessful message also passed to the client. Whether the success message or unsuccess message, both will pass to the client by the primary. Whenever any secondary raises unsuccessful message, again primary request that one. Again primary request the secondary one to restart the process. If any secondary replica failed to update successfully, again primary replica will request the secondary to restart the same process. For the second time also, if it fails to update successfully, if any particular secondary replica failed to update successfully for the second time also, then that information will be passed to the master server. Okay, the primary will pass that information to the master server. This particular secondary replica is unable to update any number of times. So what the master will do is simply he will make that secondary replica as garbage. That means it is not a valid secondary. Okay, this is the total process of the write operation. Is it clear, guys? Briefly, what is this read operation, write operation, and store operation? These are the main operations in the Google file system done by the client. Is it okay, guys? These things. Actually, you people are keeping calm while I am okay. So I am unable to get whether you are following or not. Feel free whenever you have at any point of time, any point you have doubt, please ask. Okay, please don't keep sit calmly listening what I am speaking. At any point of time, if you have any doubt, simply you can ask. We have no hurry, buddy. We can happily move with after clearing of the doubts only. Clear. This is briefly about the total Google file system. Now we have this is the totally about what is Google file system, what is the architecture of Google file system, what are the main operations of the Google file system. See, when we come to this GFS, this is entirely only for Google. It is not for all the remaining ones. Google developed this file system only for its internal use only. It is not given to the remaining people. It is used by the Google file system to handle its own big data only. Google is using this process of GFS. Later, basing on this GFS, another one has come that is called HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System. Apache developed the Hadoop Distributed File System basing on the concepts of GFS. That we have to see in the next part of the unit. We have to see that HDFS. Clear. If we have briefly knowledge of basic knowledge on the GFS, then we can easily understand the HDFS. Clear. This is totally about the concept of Google file system briefly.